What up? How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. What's up, Jill? Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know if I need to turn it up a little bit. Good to see you, Silas, Marbles, Frank Meister. Rescue all of the dogs. It's been a minute, huh? What's good, Bobby? Thank you. Thanks for the feedback and your input. What's up, Paper Pimp? Frank Meister. H Doc. Rescue says audio is perfect. Thank you. Okay, so this is what is on the agenda for today and tomorrow. But I want to make sure members, a lot of times you guys are having trouble getting your notifications. Remember, the YouTube members is still in like a beta phase. They're just still kind of trying it out. Okay, so this will be today at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all you members. The link should be posted. If you go look for it, you should find it, but if not, let me know. What is up, Frank? Farmer, Night Shadow, Jim. Who am I missing? Jim says I'm a lurker troll and proud of it. Well, Jim, you've proven to be hard to get rid of. And I hate to say it, buddy, but I just found your emails. So I want to thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Because I think it was going into my spam folder or something. So I appreciate what you said. Thanks. What's up, Vero? From the Netherlands. Shout out to the Netherlands. Am I saying that right? Welcome. Dang, Skippy. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Okay, so all you members out there, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This was Members' Choice, and I'm actually excited about it. I haven't looked into the Natalie Holloway case for some time. But when you're digging into this information and it leads you to this creep right here, this Vandersloot guy, yeah, it just goes into a dark place. And then the Johnny Gosh case. Apparently, this is still an open and active case. What is it? Almost 45 years old now. Hey, what's up, Angelina? Good to see you. Okay, so that's what we got going on today for members. And then tomorrow, we're going to get a little crazy and we're going to turn up the volume here. we're going to hang out with Jesse. This is going to be at 8 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. Now, if you want to go get familiar with Jesse's work, he's the creator of the Random Heathen Ramblings podcast. And it looks like he drops something every Thursday. I think he has something lined up tomorrow as well, from what I've seen on his channel. So recently, we know the defense released a memorandum in the Delphi murders claiming that it was a ritual sacrifice. Odinism, right? Well, we can all sit here and act like we know what we're talking about, but me personally, I really don't. So when that happens, I think it's only the right thing to do to get an expert, to kind of take a look at the information. So I've sent him everything. He seems like he was already pretty much up on a lot of the information. And we're just going to kind of sit back and get his opinion, his expert opinion. So once again, this will be tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time. Good to see you, Purdue. What's going on? What do you got going on today? So maybe you guys can get some questions together for Jesse. Because I just plan to ask him to, after looking at everything, like, what do you see? Tell me what you see, man. Through that trained lens, what are you seeing? Any signs? Could this be somebody that thinks they're doing a ritual and they're just not quite getting it right? Are they mixing beliefs? Yeah, me too, Night Shadow. And then I think Friday we might do like a true crime call in. Maybe we'll open up the lines to everybody. We'll open up the phone lines and we'll open up the link if anybody wants to join us here on StreamYard. And also, if anybody has any more information on the Johnny Gosh case, if you could shoot it over to my email. Because I've only scratched the surface today. I have about an hour worth of content, but there appears to be some kind of like, I don't know, rabbit hole about sex trafficking and abductions and things like that. I just don't know if it's represented by facts or if that's some kind of early online conspiracy, unfounded. Good to see you, Beach Fairy. Hey, thanks for posting that link. If you guys want to become a member, there you go. We meet pretty much every Wednesday. I'm going to try to do something earlier for all my European members. We've been doing the later shows, but I think next Wednesday we'll do something different. We'll do an early show. Hey, what's up? Mel from Cold Truth. How are you? Always good to see you. As of late, damn. That means prior to as of late, it sucked. That's messed up, bro. Welcome, Sandra. Now we can hear what you have to say here in the chat. Did you guys read my community post about the high-powered weapon? What'd you think about that?
This territory is ours.
All right, I'm taking a look at the poll. So the question was, who are you? Got longtime member, longtime subscriber, 64% right now. I'm new to the Sleuth crew. And 9% of you are lurking or trolling. I like what I'm seeing here, guys. I'm liking these numbers. Noreen Gosh actually answers questions in there too. Really? As of recently? That's his mother, right? Nice. Spa day, huh? I could really use a massage. Like a deep tissue. John Gacy Invol. Part of the guy. Yeah, there's, I don't know, there's a rabbit hole there for sure. And after this live stream, try to find some time to go down that rabbit hole. And I also remember this Vandersloot guy. He was like tape recorded in a vehicle, but I cannot find that. I think the first time I seen it was on like an HBO documentary. They're like sitting in a Range Rover, and he kind of set up Vandersloot. He had like a recording device somewhere in the vehicle. Gained his trust, because he kind of already had a reputation as being a bad guy. But I cannot find it. I can only find little bits and pieces of it, but I want the whole thing. So if you guys know where to find that, shoot me a link, let me know. My email is sleuthintuition@gmail.com. You got to read the JK. Good to see you, Sandra. I was joking, Derek. Yeah, I don't think they found her yet. But I think they believe she was left in the water, from my understanding. CJK, what up? Was it Lima? Lima, Peru? Isn't that where Graz was living? I wonder if he ever covered that. Actually, I think he did. I think he did cover that. think Vandersloot might be locked up in a jail or recently extradited to the U.S. Not sure. I still got some looking to do. Thank you, Beach. Yeah, feel free to shoot me an email if you'd like to. If it goes to my spam, that's probably because we had an issue at one time and you have a new email name. That's why I don't get back to you. Might be in my spam folder. Speculation Station. Hello. How are you? CJK says, yep, extradited. So I don't know. Is he facing charges? Has he been charged? Is he going to serve a sentence here and then be shipped back to serve that sentence for murder? Because one's much worse than the other. I think one is what, racketeering or something? Trying to blackmail Natalie's mother or something along those lines. I guess that wouldn't be racketeering. What would that be? What's up, Danielle? Been holding it down for 9 months. Thank you. Good, good. Oh, Aruba. So Lima, Peru is his recent conviction, but Aruba, yes. Sorry about that. Remember, guys, I haven't been drinking coffee. I'm lost with that. I'm like in the fog right now. Like, where are you guys? Thank you. Extortion. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. I'm like, what the freak? Yeah, he extorted her. Basically, like if you give me a whole bunch of money, I'll show you where the body is. So that's like basically saying he's guilty, right? But regardless, he just planned to take the money and do nothing. Yes, that is the word that I was looking for. Extortion. But racketeering is another good word. But I'm pretty sure that involves rackets, right? Some kind of a racket. Yeah, he could be a serial killer. Yeah, blackmailing, extorting. What's up, Chopper? What's up, Horihito? All right, guys, this was just going to be a quick little check-in. So let me go ahead and pull those back up. So for those members who haven't been getting your notifications, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be discussing Natalie Holloway and Johnny Gosh. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time, we're going to hang out with Jesse, the creator of Random Heathen Ramblings podcast. And he also created the YouTube channel Midgard Musings. So if you guys want to head on over there, you won't regret it. We're going to ask him about the Delphi information that was released by the defense team recently in regards to the crime scene and a possible ritual sacrifice. So now we're hearing rumors of like rope and things like that they could have possibly have been strung up. And the defense is trying to say if they were, and they might be able to prove that, that could also point to some type of a ritual. But what do I know about it, right? That's why we're calling upon Jesse, because he knows what he's talking about. And we're going to try to get his opinion about it. Good. What is up, Boston Christian? Good to see you. Thank you, Farmer. Yeah, if there's anything or pieces of information you think I won't have that's beneath the surface of that case, the Johnny Gosh case, and you guys want to cover it today, send it over to me and I'll go down these rabbit holes. Up, Karen Brown coming through with the super sticker. Sleuth Crew Check-In is now sponsored by Karen Brown. Thank you. That was nice of you. Remember, we can't spend as much time on YouTube without your help. So, Karen, you did that. Thank you. To me, that brings the shoe and bone tree back. See, I don't even know what that is. But we can talk about it. I am a curious one. CJ says, I find everything the defense is doing to be dirty. I find it to be absolutely brilliant. You know, if all you curious people out there are busy digging up information on innocent people or people that aren't proven to be involved, by investigators, or they're not legitimately interested in them. If we're busy digging up information on them, and those people don't even seem to be bothered by it. They're not hiding their Facebook, they're not hiding their religious beliefs. And if they don't care and the defense doesn't care, all they're worried about is that we're looking over there. We're digging up information on these new people. We're not digging up information on Richard Allen. So instead, you go over here and look at this guy. What's his name? Brad Holder. He hasn't deleted anything from his Facebook. And remember, that entire memorandum was written after they've had a chance to look at his Facebook, that's the dirty part, right? That's the confirmation bias. So when they release this information that's based off of what they know you'll eventually go and find, because that's how they wrote the information while looking at these pieces of information, not vice versa. They weren't looking into an angle and then stumbled upon this. No, they stumbled upon this and then created the angle. Yeah, I mean, they worked hard because they know how gullible we are. Odin, I knew it. You think I didn't want to shout that from the rooftop? We've had so many theories. Sandra, what is that? Ficus? I almost wanted to say Fiscus. Thank you for sponsoring today's live stream. And we have a new member, Donna Robinson. Welcome. Hopefully we'll see you later today. Don't be shy. Oh, here, I created some too. Let me see if I can post them. A little rabbit hole. Look, check this out. Little rabbit peeking his head out of a hole. Sela says it's worrying how many folk are buying into it, and it's not helping and it's not hurting. It's just they're just not helping to find information on Richard Allen. Think about it. You got Brad Holder who didn't delete anything from his Facebook, and then you got Richard Allen who spent 6 years deleting every piece of his social media footprint. It's gone. Oh, the shoe tree. Bone tree equals Eric that walked the end of the trail. Ruckus interviewed him. Oh, yeah. Eric Williams. Yeah. That was great. Interview by Ruckus. Ruckus likes to get right to the heart of the matter. He's like, I don't want to hear about this rumor. I don't want to hear about what he said, might said. I'm going to go ask the motherfucker. That's Ruckus in a nutshell. Almost 7,000 subs. Yeah, this little channel's growing, huh? I don't think we're going anywhere, guys. Good point. On which I'm so confused right now. I'm thinking about so many different cases in my head right now. I'm like, what are we talking about? We talking about Johnny Gosh, Delphi, Natalie, Jesse's Page, Midgard Musings. Yeah, because they're wasting their time. They're just not being, they're not participating where they should be, right? It's like, have you seen that movie Holes, where they dig all those holes and there's nothing there? They just keep digging and digging and digging. It's because they didn't put any of the pieces together, so they don't know where to dig. And honestly, there's a chance that if you do the right digging, it might lead back, give you proof and give you a better idea of where you should have been digging originally. Because even the defense could have some truth hidden in those documents that they don't even know about, that weren't even intended. Danielle, the sleuth cult. Oh, please, gosh, don't say that. That's so creepy. The sleuth, because that would make me the cult leader. I'm going to shave my head and take ear enlarging pills, and we'll be the Hellbop Comet 2 cult. The Redux. I don't know, Devoted. Tonight is the members meeting. Anna says, if things were hanging out of trees at the crime scene, it would have been discovered sooner. Well, it wasn't. It's not that anything was hanging out of the trees. What it was is in some of the crime scene photos, you could see rope, like a yellowish rope. If you go to Reddit, you'll see they were talking about it way back then. They might even have the photo. But it was basically debunked, I guess, saying that the frogmen, the people that were kind of in, kind of waiting in the water, apparently they have to tie off. So I don't know if that's the kind of rope that they would use. You think they would have like some type of a different kind of a tether? You know what I mean? but I don't know. Yeah, and the truth is you have to see the evidence if you're going to make an educated decision, right? You have to be standing on a firm foundation. And it like with the the whole F situation, right? Or the ruin, the binding ruin that they found in Libby's painted with Libby's blood on the tree. Before you can even go down this Odinism rabbit hole, you have to determine, is that what you're looking at? A binding ruin. Well, you can't do that off artist representations, that are using patterns and they're trying to do their best to kind of use a blood splatter pattern they found online. They're trying to make it look like what they're seeing on the tree, and they're copying and pasting it. And so I just want to know, how accurate is it? Is there a reason why you chose this dotting motion, this dotting pattern to represent what you're looking at? Like, we all know that it's an artist representation. We know that they probably did it on Illustrator using some kind of a pattern, copy, paste. But my question is, why did they select that? If it was more of a smudging on that tree, they would have used most likely like a paint shop tool or a paintbrush tool and just outlined what they were seeing. But no, they chose this dotting pattern. And not only did they choose this pattern, they choose to kind of make it appear as if it was going up and then back down, and then some kind of a little bit of what is it, overcast. So if you don't have an accurate representation of what is actually at the crime scene, you're dead in the water. That's why everything has pretty much been inconclusive. Sleuth, see Sandra's comment. She got booted. I don't see Sandra. Hold on. This Sandra? Sandra Ficus? Fiscus? Instant? What's that? Speculation Station says, I don't believe the defense, but I want to see the evidence. Then I'll make my decision. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And it's not like we really have seen the evidence. We just have more information. And one thing we've proven by going over that memorandum is that the defense likes to stretch the truth. Everything that they say has about 9% truth to it. And that's just the actual fact that it's the crime scene that they're talking about. We're talking about the same crime scene, right? Yeah. Okay, well, that's the only part that's the truth. The rest is pretty much bogus. And it's not even like they're giving an honest interpretation, right? They're giving a false interpretation to fit a narrative, which goes back to CJK's comment that it is dirty. There are parts of this that are very dirty. Welcome, Donna. Looks like we have a couple new members. Welcome, little one. Speculation Station. We will see you guys tonight. Do not be shy. Make yourselves at home. And don't forget, we've been legitimized by Karen Brown and Sandra. Thank you, guys. What's up, Kevin? Welcome. It's tough for me to totally dismiss when I hear Doug Carter say things like good versus evil. If I had to put money on him talking about a lone killer or a religious type of group, I'd have to go with the group. But good versus evil, even if Richard Allen is a lone wolf, that still makes him the epitome of evil. A grown ass man attacking two perfectly harmless children. I mean, I know they were teenagers, but think about it. They were basically babies. The older I get, the more true that statement becomes. They were babies. And on that day, Richard Allen, possibly, if he's that man, if he's guilty of this, he was the epitome of evil. He was the embodiment at that moment in time. Dang, I'm way behind on the chat. Fig, yeah, man, let me know. Just a couple questions like, hey, how accurate is this? Why did they choose this pattern? Why did you choose a dotting pattern? Is that what you were seeing on that tree? Was it dotted like that? Or is this some half-assed artist rendition? Thank you, Beach Fairy. Shout out to Speculation. Just in time, we bring out the keg and hot tub for the members meeting. That sounds amazing. Mana says Delphi is now in the realm of West Memphis 3. No matter what courts may decide in the future, people will argue forever on the internet. I don't know if we're quite there yet. Because when it came to West Memphis 3, we saw the crime scene. We knew what we were dealing with. It was with the evidence, they didn't really put those boys there at the scene. You know what I mean? That's the only problem. We can put Richard Allen at this crime scene. And he looks like the guy on the bridge, right? That doesn't mean he's guilty. But man, it's like common sense. We've been going down so many rabbit holes, we forget about the whole common sense part of it. We need to kind of put ourselves back at day one. If you saw Richard Allen, well, actually, let's say day 3, they've released all the information. You have this picture, you got some audio, and then you have the suspect that they publicly announced is Richard Allen. Case closed. If this case wouldn't have blown up the way it did, we wouldn't even be talking the way we are now. So yeah, maybe you are right. I guess the word realm, putting that word realm, I think you might be right. Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely in the realm. Oh, you posted a super sticker and it booted you out, huh? What's up, Karen? No, thank you. Karen hooked it up today. Appreciate you. Hey, what's good, Redfoot? Looks like a messy crime scene to me. That's what I'm saying. Hey, what's up, Mark? Good to see you. It's hard to believe that a person with no previous experience would effectively cut throats. That sounds like something a slaughterhouse worker would know how to do. Honestly, any man can do that. Any man. And most boys who have been out hunting have seen it done, have watched a lot of horror movies, probably have cut a lot of different things with knives. They know how to use a knife. And remember, in the memorandum, and like I said, we don't know how accurate it is. We can't really trust but 9% of what is said in there. But they said Abby was her wound wasn't as effective. Sorry. So to me, that tells me that he was learning as he was going. He didn't have that much success when he first used the knife. So yeah, he was learning, and that's why it was much more brutal the second time around because he made those adjustments. So to me, the crime scene still tells me that this is some sloppy guy who may not have known what he was doing with the knife, but I mean, it's common sense, right? You have soft tissue and you have the sharp, heavy blade. I mean, there's only a few things that are going to happen if you apply pressure, right? So to me, it doesn't take a genius to understand you got to push hard. And then if you see the results, you know, next time, like, okay, that wasn't what I expected. I have to be much more violent. And that's what the crime scene says to me. Is that's what it says happened. Yeah, and this is a battle between good and evil for sure. Barbara also said that her sources said the bullet was presumably from a law enforcement. Presumably? Well, that would have been pretty easy to determine. Anybody that was out there with the 40 caliber weapon, let's go ahead and run a quick test. Yep. To me, it looks not like it was hurried completely, like he hurried at the end. Like you have Abby, he was able to successfully reclothe her. He took his time. But it almost as if when he was getting ready to do the same thing with Libby, something caught his attention. And it was most likely the people that were on the bridge at around 3:30. And they're coming across that bridge just like he did, just like Abby and Libby did. And he's afraid they could come right down the hill, walk up to the creek, and all they would have to do is look over the creek and see him with those bodies. Now, the reason he was covering Abby, in my opinion, he's trying to erase what he had just done. He is filled with shame, regret, and panic. He wants to erase the fact that he made them undress and murdered them. So he needs to clean them up. And Abby was probably already pretty much, I think she was attacked in the water. So that could explain the loss of blood and things like that. And while they said, I think the word was, I can't remember. In the Erskine messages, it says she was like untouched. And then it was personal with Libby. But I have a feeling that it was personal with both of them. He just got interrupted. And that's what he wanted. When they came upon that crime scene and they said, well, one looked untouched, and the other one, it looked personal. Well, he wanted them, I think, in my opinion, to both look untouched. He was going for that for both of them, but he got interrupted. That was the effect he was going for. And that's why you saw the sticks and all that stuff, I think. Because if you go watch True Crime Web with Steve, he did this experiment with life-size dummies. He covered them with sticks and he walked around them. And you couldn't even see them. So if people were out there searching and it was dark and you just kind of run your flashlight across the ground, and remember, There was a lot of tall grass. If you go look at the crime scene photos, there's about 12 inches high grass. A lot of it. Maybe even taller. Starting at the most basic level, one man on the bridge equals one killer. I agree. For me, it's like the more I learn about it, the more I can see this image in front of me. The more information I download and the more that I can prove as factual information and try to focus on that, I can actually start to see it. And it was kind of like an aha moment when they kind of explained the crime scene. It was like, yeah, we might be dealing with I wouldn't even call it a lone wolf because I think he may have had help luring the girls there. There may have been something going on those previous weeks that have to do with the motive. But as far as whatever led them there, being lured or not, I believe there was one person out there who committed the crime, and that was Richard Allen. I think. I don't know for sure because, like I said, I haven't seen all the evidence, nor should I. But I am allowed to have an opinion, and I know we're all curious. And that's why we like to talk about it. Sandra says, if it was really dotted, it seems like spatter to me. Yeah, either spatter. To me, it kind of looks like a squirting, either from an artery, a squirt bottle, or some kind of something you can squeeze. I'm not sure. Your vein is basically just a tube, and your heart is a pump. Yeah, shout out to all the new members. Donna coming through with the super sticker. You guys are staying busy. Karen, Sandra, got new members. Donna, little one, Speculation Station, and a super sticker from Donna Robinson. Thank you. All right, guys, we'll hang out another 5 minutes. If you have any questions about the members meeting, tomorrow's live stream with Jesse, don't miss that one. Let me know. Thanks, Farmer. If you guys want to shoot me some cash to the Cash App, I won't say no. And shout out to a couple of you who did send me, I guess, bought me a coffee, is what it said in the comments. Kevin says 2 different wounds, possibly 2 different knives, 2 different killers. Yeah, the crime scene does kind of speak to that as well. And if you look at the girls, that could explain why they're so different. One person was attacking one victim. That's why everything is so different. One feels the need to dress, and the wound was completely different. The way they were covered seemed more sophisticated. And then you had one, there was no clothing, blood everywhere, and kind of more sticks kind of thrown randomly. So yeah, I guess you're either dealing with 2 people or somebody who was interrupted midway. Good point, Kevin. Yep, quick concealment. And if you watch Steve from True Crime Web's video, it really does conceal them. Now, if you take into consideration the tall grass, I mean, you could have walked right by them in the middle of that night. You're not looking for anything really that low, right? In your mind, you're like, they're stuck, maybe a broken leg. You're not looking for something on the ground in some gruesome crime scene. That's the last thing that's on your mind. Oh yeah, she's living a real nightmare. Breaks my heart to think about it, honestly, Tony. Thanks, Farmer. You guys want to go get some merch? Go check out the shop. We got some playing cards now too. What's up, Radar? Hey, Radar, if you want the link to that memorandum, I have it in one of my videos. I think it was the first one I did about it. I know you left a comment. I don't know if it's still up or not. I copied it to a Word document. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Devoted. Devoted says that's probably why Carter said he thinks the killer had a tiny bit of humanity left. I'm paraphrasing. Yeah, I've brought that up a few times. That could be exactly what he meant. You know, you're trying to clean them. You don't want to you want to give them a little bit of dignity. So for you to want to give them a little bit of dignity, you have to have a little bit of humanity, right? So yeah, that would make sense. Like, why did you try to clean them and why did you reclothe them? It's because you didn't want to. He didn't want to shock. You know, there's reasons that they leave signatures and staging is because either they want to shock, they want to mislead, or it actually is a ritual. Now, he obviously didn't want to shock anybody, right? So he wasn't trying to make a statement of like revenge or, in my opinion, right? What the hell do I know? But in my opinion, for him to be trying to reclothe them, and I think he was trying to reclothe them both, but was interrupted. He was trying to, he didn't want to look at what he had done. He knew what he did was bad. Filled with regret, he didn't want to shock anybody. He wanted to kind of clean it up. He even put some of the sticks over the wounds. That way, when they came across the crime scene, it wouldn't be so shocking. And that was actually what happened with Abby. When they came across her, they said, oh, well, she didn't even have that many wounds. You know, she was clean, she wasn't bloody, she was this, and that. But on the other hand, you know, when they talk about Libby, they talk about the violence and it was personal. Well, that could have been the case with Abby, but he reversed that. He got rid of that. So his intentions were not to shock, in my opinion. So whatever that means, I don't know. Yeah, and I do believe that is where Libby was attacked. All right, guys, I'm going to catch up on the chat and then we're going to bounce. So if you could hit that like button on the way out. Members, I'll see you later today. And Sleuth Crew, I will see you tomorrow. We will be sitting with Jesse from Random Heathen Ramblings podcast and the YouTube channel Midgard Musing. He's going to give us his expert opinion if what we are looking at and what we're hearing from the defense team indicates any kind of signs of a ritual sacrifice or anything related to Norse paganism or heathens or anything like that. Norse mythology, whatever they're claiming, we're going to find out if it's legit or not. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what happened. 100%. That's the only way to really explain all the evidence. You know, before they ran, they picked up their clothing in their hands. Like, hell no, we're out of here. He was able to catch up to one in the water and then pursued the second. And where he caught up to her is where he ended up bringing Abby. He just brought her up there to hide them. Yeah, and like I said, you guys go check out that video that Steve did on True Crime Web. He kind of proves it. If you put sticks over them the way that it was showed, they are concealed quite a bit. Not 100%, but to me, if you add that tall grass, and all you got to do is Google the crime scene, you can see how tall that grass was. I can see how easy it was for people to not find them that night. And that could be the very reason that he did it, right? To buy himself some time. Because if they would have found him that night, they would have put it out like, hey, we have a killer on the loose. And then everybody's memory would have been fresh. Like, okay, who did I see that stood out? Oh, that weird muddy and bloody guy. But yet, it took almost 3 days, I think, before you had an image of the guy. Thank you, Beach Fairy. Yeah, it should be on the first video I did about the defense memorandum. Should be in the description. I don't know how I got that link from Frank Meister, so I don't know if that's still legit or what. Yep. If you look at everything together, that's the picture it paints. And if you know all the facts about the case, about how there was people walking up and down that bridge right around the 3:30 mark, I mean, for all we knew, he planned to cross back over through the water and come back across the bridge. Maybe. Hour and a half. So what you see in that crime scene, I think that sounds about right. Yeah, we're going to get out of here. All right, guys, that's our time for today. I will see you members later, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. We'll be hanging out with Jesse. If you guys could, hit the like button on the way out. Replay crew, if you have anything to add, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.